Islam Makhachev has all the skills. His ability all across every area in mixed martial arts is second to none.
When it first began, I possessed it. Dreaming of champions. Representing our republic, our country, is what I fight for.
He was the first guy at the gym with Khabib back in the day, and he spent a ton of time with Khabib's dad before he passed away. And he is now ready to show that he can be the next contender in the lightweight division.
You know, the first fight, I don't know his background, you know. He defends my wrestling. He give me just, you know, he's tough. That's why he give me a hard time.
He's got to watch that wrist control from Makhachev again. He's going to grab that far side wrist. Now he's blocking it. He's trying to fight that wrist control.
Now I know everything what he can do.
So you think you'll finish him?
I think yes.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Islam Makhachev.
So you beat Arman Tsarukyan, and you've defended this title on so many different occasions now. What's next?
I don't know. I'm tired to give somebody a rematch, you know. I need the second belt below there. We'll see. A lot of good fighters.
Charles Oliveira has shown, right, again, that he's right back in the mix.
Man, I beat him. Arman beat him. It's nothing excited, you know, to beat him again.
There's no one that can challenge Charles. Charles is at such an elite level. Islam beats him so soundly that now you're like, I don't even know if it makes sense for Charles to fight him again.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's how good he is.
With the new undisputed lightweight champion of the world.
I always ask God, but He give me always more than what I ask. Alhamdulillah. And I training so hard for this moment. All my life, when I was kid, I preparing for that moment.
There is levels. There is fighters. There is champion. There is elite. Islam is elite.
22 years we was trained together, and the last couple of years I told you guys, Islam Makhachev is the best fighter, not in lightweight. He's a pound for pound #1 fighter in right now, today.
Arman, you've been working towards this championship fight for a long time. Did you kind of have an idea of what it would look like?
When I got UFC, I didn't think about the UFC belt and everything. I just wanted to get in top 15. My first win, I wanted to be a champion, and I started like thinking about championship. And when Islam got the belt, I said I want to fight with Islam for the belt.
Tsarukyan has an impressive record of 22-3 and is coming off a win over former champion Charles Oliveira and a performance of the night win over Beneil Dariush. This is a rematch from 2019.
For sure, I was expecting knockout. I told you guys, I don't want to win by decision or whatever. I just wanted to performance very well, like knock him out and go home and get that title fight.
When you got that fight against Islam, how much did you know about him?
I knew him very well because he's Khabib's cousin, and he had like 5 or 6 fights in the UFC, and I always watch his fights and Khabib's fights. So I was more excited because everybody in Russia knows him. It's a good fight for me. So when I beat him, like people are gonna talk about me.
Как побеждать бойца номер 1 паунд for паунд? Где? За счет чего?
Быть готовым к тяжелым 5 раундам, чтобы был хороший беззабат, хорошая защита от борьбы, хороший бокс, хороший тэквондо. Если все наточить на хорошем уровне, не дать ему делать то, что он любит делать, а обыгрывать в некоторых моментах, то можно спокойно выиграть его. Он обычный человек, из-за этого некоторые чемпионы, допустим, выигрывают очень явно, да. А люди, которые против них выходят, они не самоуверены, они там думают, что будет делать Ислам. Я не думаю, что он будет делать. Я думаю, что я буду делать. Какую атаку я буду проводить. Если суждено стать в следующем году, я сам чемпион.
Coming off a win over Charles Oliveira, please welcome the #1 ranked lightweight in the world, Arman Tsarukyan. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world and UFC lightweight champion, Islam Makhachev.
And you've made it known you wanted, new opponents, but Arman, he's been on a tear in the lightweight division, and, he earned the #1 contender fight. So, I guess, what have you made of Arman's run since your first fight so many years ago?
No, of course, if you watch the rankings, Arman is a #1 contender, and all my life I told people I want to fight with the real contender who deserve high-level fighters. That's why he deserves. If you watch his skills, he have good skills, wrestling, and who have the wrestling skills, they control, they control lightweight. That's why he's a #1 right now, and he a real contender who I want to fight.
For sure, he's the best fighter in our division, and he defend his title a couple of times. And I'm so excited for this fight, and can't wait to be a champion.
And then question for Dana, if Islam does get the job done here, will you finally put him over John Jones as the pound-for-pound best?
We'll see.
Dana, you have to be true, man.
Listen, Islam knows I love him, man, but you know how I feel about that. John Jones is undefeated for however many years, and boo all you want. I don't give a shit.
Who is the #1? Tell Dana, who is the #1?
And you for asking that question.
I've seen Islam dominate top-level guys, top-level jiu-jitsu guys from the mount position, from side control, takedowns, foot sweeps, all of these things. And these guys were mainly bigger than him when Islam was training with them. So when you have guys that are bigger than you, that are top-level jiu-jitsu players, and you're still able to work them around, move them around, sweep them, and put them in danger, make them escape.
I believe that Makhachev falls victim to expectation. He's been so dominant that if you are able to compete with him in any way, it seems as though you did better. Bro, he shut Dustin out and submitted him. And the story was Dustin Poirier. I mean, this guy, Islam, has finished Charles, finished Volk twice, and then just finished Dustin Poirier in his last 4 fights. That is a crazy number. But when you think about Arman Tsarukyan, he has constantly improved, and he has said since the first time they fought, the moment he got another opportunity, he was going to beat Makhachev because they didn't have a training camp to do that. I think these are the 2 best lightweights in the world.
I don't see many people beat Islam. Even in MMA, maybe he have more than 300 fights, in amateur. And I don't see many people beat him. In the gym, outside, he was everywhere. He was dominated.
And I've said it, I don't know how many times, that in all the sparrings that I've had here with Khabib, that no one's ever beaten any rounds from him, except one person, and that's Islam Makhachev. He's the only one that's been able to win rounds against Khabib. Nobody in the history of AKA that's within the weight that sparred Khabib has ever won a round against him, except Islam Makhachev. So that being the reason, that's my crystal ball.
Rewind to April 2019. A 22-year-old Arman Tsarukyan entered the UFC to face Islam Makhachev, a rising star already touted as Khabib Nurmagomedov's protege. What unfolded that night was a war of grit, skill, and determination. Islam emerged victorious via unanimous decision, but Tsarukyan's performance turned heads. He was no stepping stone. He was a future contender. Fast forward to now. Both men have evolved, refined, and dominated. Since their first clash, they share a combined record of 18-1. Now, the sequel comes with gold on the line. This is no longer about potential. It's about legacy. Islam Makhachev has solidified his reign as lightweight king. He's submitted submission specialists, outstruck elite strikers, and made the impossible look routine. Just ask Charles Oliveira or Alexander Volkanovski. His recent head kick knockout of Volkanovski proved that Makhachev is no longer just Khabib's heir. He's carving his own legacy, known for his suffocating grappling, precise striking, and impeccable fight IQ. Makhachev fights with the confidence of a man who knows his game plan will work. But this time, he's not just defending his belt. He's out to remind Arman Tsarukyan why he's at the top. On the other side stands Arman Tsarukyan. Since their first bout, he's been a wrecking ball in the lightweight division. With wins over names like Joaquim Silva, Damir Ismagulov, and Renato Moicano, Tsarukyan has proven himself as one of the most versatile fighters in the division. Arman's striking has become sharper, his grappling even more dynamic. And what sets him apart? His ability to blend striking with wrestling seamlessly. His relentless pressure forces opponents into mistakes, and he capitalizes every time. For Tsarukyan, this is not just about redemption, it's about rewriting history. The big question heading into this rematch: who's evolved more? Makhachev's striking has reached new heights, making him a complete fighter. Tsarukyan's explosiveness and pace can overwhelm anyone, but who will impose their style? Will Makhachev's clinch work and ground control neutralize Arman's aggression? Or can Tsarukyan use his improved striking to disrupt Islam's rhythm and test the champion's limits? For Islam, this fight is about proving that his dominance is unmatched. For Arman, it's the ultimate chance to avenge his lone UFC loss and capture the lightweight throne. This isn't just a fight, it's a statement. The lightweight division is stacked with killers, but these two are at the very top. The rematch we've all been waiting for will decide who truly rules the most competitive weight class in MMA. MMA fans, mark your calendars. History will be made as Islam Makhachev and Arman Tsarukyan meet again in the center of the octagon. Who will rise? Who will fall? Let us know in the comments. Do you think Arman has what it takes to dethrone the champ, or will Islam continue his reign of dominance? Subscribe for all the latest updates, breakdowns, and fight analysis. This is one you can't afford to miss.